When is an SUV not an SUV? Cue the Subaru Outback.
Subaru calls this an SUV, but man, looks like a wagon to me.
You know what? Let's not get caught up in labels. Whatever you call it, the Subaru Outback is a versatile all-wheel drive conveyance with tons of space inside. Très pratique. This is the 6th generation Outback, which was introduced for the 2020 model year. And no, it doesn't look that much different from generation number 5. No worries though, because when you buy an Outback, you probably want something with this general shape. Inside the Outback's very wagon-like silhouette is a generous 32.5 cubic feet behind the rear seats, adorned with cargo tie-downs and bag hooks. Drop the seats using these levers to unleash a commodious 75.7 cubic feet. And with that, I've used my annual quota for the word commodious. If the Outback's internal accommodations aren't adequate, you can always employ the standard roof rails to lash bulky items to the roof. Not to stereotype, but I'm going to call this the canoe zone.
Coming back inside, the interior is decently stylish. There are enough premium materials to elevate the vibe, and as the driver, I can get into a very comfortable position thanks to this widely adjustable steering wheel. And the seats are pretty good too.
The front seats are well contoured, while in back, legroom is plentiful and the seatbacks angle to a pleasing recline. Wherever you sit, the Outback's Goldilocks ride height means you neither climb up nor drop down to come aboard.
I'd feel even better about the interior if you didn't have to spend more than 33 grand on a limited trim to get rear seat vents. I have a child, Subaru. What are you trying to do to her?
Whether you have the basic dual 7-inch display setup or the fancier 11.6-inch screen found in our test car, another potentially controversial element is a reduced use of physical buttons. Then again, there is a volume knob and a tune knob, and you can mash the make hotter or make colder buttons with ease. You know, with those big vivid icons, I'm finding it hard to spark much rage about this screen-centric setup. Wait, here's something distressing. I love the dedicated camera activation button, but when you press it, mercy, that is a low-resolution image. And as long as I'm complaining, using the front USB ports is difficult if you have normal-sized hands. Fun fact, in addition to putting things into and on top of your Subaru Outback, you can also drive it. What's that like?
The Outback rides with distinguished civility, it's easy to see out of, and the cabin is quiet.
Adding some detail, the Outback navigates tight spaces with a reasonable 36-foot turning circle. Meanwhile, its handling feels more composed than invigorating, but for its intended use, that's perfectly appropriate. Power comes from one of 2 horizontally opposed 4-cylinder engines. There's a base 2.5-liter or a 2.4-liter turbocharged unit that's reserved for fancier trims. No, you can't get a 6-cylinder.
For those who don't know, the horizontally opposed engine orientation creates a lower engine with a lower center of gravity, which is supposedly better for doing stuff like this. You know, turning and stuff.
You know what else has a horizontally opposed engine arrangement? Most piston-powered helicopters. You're in good company, Outback. Our tester has the 2.4-liter turbo. It's plenty powerful, and thanks to forced induction, it feels that way even when driving at altitude. But wait, what's this? Ooh, like an old-timey villain slinking onto stage, we have the Outback's transmission partner, the Linear-tronic CVT. Boo! Hiss!
Most drivers won't notice or care that the Outback doesn't have a traditional automatic transmission, but for those who pay attention, the acceleration is anything but linear.
Last CVT note, if your version of fun involves manually selecting 8 different ratios from a transmission lacking any gears, then manual control is available via steering wheel paddle shifters. Where efficiency is concerned, both engines perform well, and if you've got a urn to tow, the 2.5-liter can manage 2,700 pounds, while the turbo mill lugs up to 3,500 pounds. For off-roading, or more realistically, wintertime trips through Vermont to the nearest Hannaford supermarket, the Outback offers 8.7 inches of ground clearance and standard all-wheel drive. For more serious back-trail jaunts, there's X-Mode. Don't let the name confuse you. X-Mode actually alters CVT, engine, and stability control settings for enhanced off-road prowess. For less than $27,000 plus destination, a basic Outback includes occupant seatbelt reminders, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, LED headlights with automatic high beams, and EyeSight, a camera-based active driver assist suite that merges lane departure warning with steering assist, dynamic cruise control, and forward collision alerts.
Let's see how EyeSight handles a little driver ineptitude. Oh, a slight curve, and I'm not paying attention. Well steered.
Ascend the trim ladder to reveal delights like heated seats, a hands-free liftgate, a 180-degree front camera, smart key access, and that fun-to-say Starlink 11.6-inch navigation-equipped infotainment display. Starlink! And if you're wondering, our tester is the Outback Onyx Edition XT, which explains the black exterior trim, gray two-tone interior motif, and sweet vivid stitching. While shopping Outbacks, you might also consider 5-passenger crossovers like the Chevy Blazer, Hyundai Santa Fe, and Honda Passport. Though, here's a thought. What if I told you you could buy a similarly wagony ride with an identical base engine, standard all-wheel drive, and a Subaru badge that costs $2,000 less than the Outback, yet somehow possesses a more voluminous cabin? It's called the Subaru Forester. And with that, I've used my annual quota for the word voluminous. Now, 6 generations deep, the Subaru Outback endures as a practical, value-rich vehicle that's capable enough for most of life's adventures.
It's easy to see why the Outback remains such a popular SUV. It's a wagon, people.